Hello dear ones, Father Peter John coming to you from All Saints Orthodox Church in Bloomington, Indiana. Christ is in our midst. I've been speaking this week about the saints who cared for the poor and the needy. And today I want to speak about a particular saint who, I'm going to talk about him a lot in the future actually. He's one of my favorites. It's St. John of Cronstadt. But today I want to focus on one particular aspect of his life, and that is his work with those who were poor and in need. Just a little bit of a background for you. St. John of Cronstadt was the long-time rector of St. Andrew Russian Orthodox Church in Kronstadt, Russia. He served liturgy every day, every morning. So he'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to the church and begin the proskomedia prayers, all the preparatory prayers before the liturgy every morning, and would serve the liturgy every day. It was awesome. Well, it just so happened that he had this great love for the poor. He had a huge place in his heart for them. And so, for example, there's a biography on his life, and it's called Prodigal Saint. Now, I don't recommend it. It's a decent work. It's a doctoral thesis, and it kind of reads like a doctoral thesis. So there are great nuggets of information in there, but I don't recommend it for really getting a great grasp of his hagiography. That being said, so St. John, when he got up in the morning and he was leaving for the church between 4 and 4:30 in the morning, the poor realized that he had this great love for them and that he didn't want to refuse them anything. And so they would line up outside of his house. And he would give to everyone who asked of him, unless he just didn't have anything left. And that certainly was the case sometimes. Actually, at one point, his wife had to go to the bishop because he was giving away almost their entire paycheck to the poor, and she didn't have anything left to buy food. And so she went to the bishop, who then ended up designating part of the paycheck for her for the needs of the household, and then the rest would go to him, and he would distribute it, again, most of it among the poor and the needy. His greatest accomplishment for the poor and the needy was a facility called the House of Industry. You know, St. John, he saw all of these needs in Cronstadt. He saw the poverty. He saw the unemployment, he saw the alcoholism, and he wanted to do something to address the core, the root of the issue there, of this poverty. And so he decided to devote his life, other than his ministry at St. Andrew's Cathedral, to devote his life and his time to the building up of this great, huge facility that would house, educate, train people who with trades, so they could learn a trade and then get a job and then afford a home and then support their family and all of this. So it was a great concept, wonderful. You know, you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man a fish, and he eats forever, right? That's, I think, how the saying goes. So this is what St. John set out to do. He worked fundraising, planning, building, revising. He worked for 20 years, 20 years, 2 full decades, pouring his time, his energy, his talent, his life into building the House of Industry. And just a few weeks before its grand opening, tragically, it burned to the ground. But do you know what St. John did? He picked up a shovel. He started clearing the debris from the fire. He cleared the space. He got with his people. He started raising the funds for the new building, and he set out to starting over again. And that's what he did. And you know what? He finished it. St. John of Cronstadt, a great example for us of prayerfulness, right? In his serving liturgy every day, in addition, of course, to all of his personal prayers. He probably prayed constantly anyway while he was out doing his deeds and his duties. Prayerfulness, asceticism, but this incredible, awesome selflessness, this giving, this spirit of sharing with all of those in need. He's just, and then of course the idea of the House of Industry, equipping the poor to be able to learn trades, to be able to be self-sufficient, so that they then can take the blessings that they are earning, and then they can bless other people. And it goes on and on like this. This was St. John's idea. So St. John of Cronstadt, pray unto God for us that we too may have a heart to give. Christ is in our midst. He is and ever shall be.